Alright folks, welcome back. We are in Virginia today on the Rappahannock River. This river has some monster catfish in it. They can be a few and far between, but when you get one, you're gonna get a good one. I did catch my personal best on this river back on New Year's Eve of 24. It's a 69 pounder, pretty far up river too. We're in tidal fresh water here. Gonna run my gill net today, try to get some shad, as I have not been bringing bait with me these last few trips, just because I've been having better success just catching fresh bait. Because the bait shops in Maryland are typically not real good at preserving, keeping catfish bait, but fresh bait is always better. So I'm gonna head up here, and I'm also today going to see if I can find a sunken barge from the Civil War. I have found it before. I've never caught anything on it, but I've never fished on it in the springtime. So we will go and try to find that on side scan or down scan as well today for a little interesting history piece. But I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna try to find some fish, see where they're at. I'll get anchored up and throw some baits over. I got no bait, like I just said, but we're gonna try to catch some. All right, so I got this gill net. I'm in about 8 feet of water. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just sort of put it over like a fence and just drift backwards as it stretches out. Now we're gonna let that soak as I drift backwards. Hopefully get some shad in there. Once you see those little buoys start popping, that's when you know you got something. So we're just going to drift backwards for a little while, and then we'll pull it back in. See, now I had a lot of pops and I don't see any fish yet. There's something right there. That's a dang gar. Gar and a catfish. That'll happen, folks. All you can do is just freaking throw it out there again. So I'm gonna get these out and I'm just gonna set it again. Catfish. No, that's a shad. There's a big old shad. That's what we're looking for. There he is. There's some bait for us, folks. One in the cooler. All right. All right, folks. So I am set up in my first spot here. I'm on sort of an outside bend. Got a little 10-foot shelf here that drops down to about 40 feet on this side. This is actually the same spot where I caught my personal best catfish. I got one nice Mondo sized gizzard shad to start with, and that'll get us going for a while. And if I have to try again, I'll try again and get some more. But I've also got this gar, and if I have to use him, I'm in trouble, but I will if I have to. Anyway, we'll get these rods set up, get them out of here, see if we get anything in this spot. If not, we'll give it a little while and move on. All right, here's our first fish. It's been about 15-20 minutes sitting here. I've had a few bites, had a good takedown on that one that didn't hook up. Let's see what we got here. Got kind of the glare over here, so I hope that's not too bad. Okay, here's another takedown. Hopefully that other one comes back. This one came out of the deep side. bottom of the ledge there, probably 35 feet. It's wanting to stay down, but I don't think it's a real big fish. It's something. Yeah, not a bad one. At least it's a catfish and not a gar. A lot of gar in this section of river. Always has been. This one's hooked good enough that I can boat flip him. Now he's not a bad fish. And he left me the bait, so that's real nice of him. Let's see what we got. Well, I already see what we got. It's a fat one for its size. First fish of the day, folks. Nice 7-pounder or so. We'll get him out of here. I'm almost half tempted to take him home and eat him. I don't know. If we keep catching small fish, I might, but we'll see. Let's get this back out here and we'll sit here a little longer. Okay, folks, so here, there's our barge. I'm coming at it a little bit sideways, so it's kind of hard to tell. I'm gonna try to go over it a different direction. Here's a view of it on down scan, going right over the top of it. I'm gonna show you another view. Okay, so not sure if you can see that, but this is just another view of it. As you can see, it's sort of silted in. It's basically under mud right now, but you can see right here a little bit of a rope and something coming off the top of it. All right, my face is a little shadowed here and I'm having trouble figuring out how to make that go away, so I'm just gonna roll with it, folks. So that barge, you probably saw on the side scan, you could kind of see the wood shapes if you pause and take a good look at it. It's kind of hard to find on down scan because it's 44 feet down deep on the bottom, and it's got some silt and some mud that is, you know, it's covered it up quite a bit. It sort of acts like a wing dam, but I didn't see any fish on it, and there's rarely any fish on it, but it's a really cool feature to see. Now, what I think, I mean, I know it's a Civil War barge, but I don't know for sure exactly, you know, where it came from, if it's Union or Confederate or what, but my best educated guess is that it's probably from Major General Burnside of the Union, 1862, his Eastern campaign. Now, Fredericksburg is just upriver, right? In his 1862 campaign, what he was trying to do was he would use these barges and he would use like pontoon bridges to try to cross, you know, troops over the river and move troops upriver. What his plan was to try to take Fredericksburg on his way to Richmond, but that plan failed miserably because he was met in Fredericksburg at the Battle of Fredericksburg by Stonewall Jackson and General Lee, and he took heavy losses over the course of that battle, which took several days, and lots of heavy losses, and he definitely lost that battle and had to turn back. So that's your history piece for this video. I'm still trying to see if I can get a little bit more of a view of this thing for you. It's kind of hard to do, but I'm going to show you this last view that I've got here. So there is the side of it, and you can see that it is covered in mud, and right down here you can see all kinds of stuff, and you can see stuff coming off of it up here, just ropes and wood and everything that can float, trying to float up to the surface over the course of over 100 years, and you could see some wood planks sticking out on that view as well. So pretty cool feature, and very old, and I'm sure there's a few more of them somewhere upriver, but I don't know where they're at. This is the only one I know about, so just wanted to show that to you. I'm gonna try to catch some more bait, and then I'm gonna try to catch at least another fish. We got one fish in the video, and now we got a history piece, so technically we got ourselves a video, but I'd like to make it a little more entertaining for you, so let's get on back out there. Well, folks, we got another dang gar in there. Get that guy out of there. It's going to be a lot of fun right there. What you got to say for yourself, Mr. Gar? Think I should let him go? Sure did some damage to my net. Get out of here. Alright, so still haven't been able to get any more shad, so what I'm doing now, set up on like some wood cover, some structure and stuff here in about 20-25 feet of water, and just giving this a shot, folks. See what we can get. Might get lucky. I'm gonna sit here and use what I got left of this shad. I might try to get some more, but it's not looking too promising. There's not a lot of bait fish action going on today for some reason. Not real sure why, but happens sometimes, folks. Let's see what we can do here. Up, 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 up. There we go. We got another fish, folks. Look at that, folks. We got another fish. Saw some wood cover here. Saw some fish sitting here. Didn't know if they were catfish or not, but at least one of them is. Hope he leaves me the bait. If he doesn't, still got a little bit of that shad left. Those big shad will give you about 8, 9, 10 pieces, but if not, then that old Mr. Gar that we got this morning might have to become bait. I have never used gar for bait, but I have seen some folks who have. We got us another fish though. Let's see what we got. It seems like in this river, you'll either catch a 5 to 10 pounder or you'll catch a 50 plus. It's like there's no in between. I think the biggest fish I've caught in this river was that 69. Second biggest was like a 37. And there's that fish. And a few in the 20s, but not many. This river has a ton of 5 to 10 pounders and a select few monsters. But you're not going to catch a monster every time you go out. But what I do know is that we are not getting skunked today. We've got 2 fish in the boat so far. That's another fat looking one. Took that hook right to the grill. Come on now, let go of it. He left us the bait too. That's what you call conservation, folks. That is conservation. So there's our second fish, folks. Hopefully we can get something better. So I'll sit here a little longer because I've only been sitting here about 5-10 minutes. Get on out of here, buddy. All right, got that same piece of bait. It's still fresh, so I'm gonna get it right back out there. Got some slime on my line here. There's a lot of boats out today in this part of the river for some reason. Probably because it's Sunday and it's a beautiful day. Can't blame them, you know, because here I am too. Anyway, put that right back where it was. I saw a real big fish on bottom when I was coming up through here on my fish finder. Not sure if that one's going to want to bite or not, but boy. This one is acting like a flathead. Oh, oh. I guess we're not going to find out for a minute. Just like how a flathead hits. Something keeps just picking that up, putting it down, and kind of sitting there with it. I don't know if it's going to hook up or what. Looks like it's trying to. We got one on this rod. Come on, take that rod down. It'd be really something to have a flathead this time of year. There are flatheads in this river. Not a whole lot, but there are some. And there are also small blue cats. But they're nice enough to leave the bait. I'm half tempted to just jack this thing's jaw. I'm gonna let it keep playing with it because I'd like to see that rod bend over. If something is trying to get it and it's a flathead, I don't want to tear it out of its mouth. This fish is hooked over the top of its lip, just like that. Oh, he's biting my hand. Alright, there's the smallest one of the day so far. That's a perfect eater. But I'm not eating. I am eating, but I'm not eating him. Because it's kind of a long drive from my house to here. I mean, I am in another state. But, let's see what's going on with that one. Get this out of the way. It's still just tugging and tugging and tugging. My camera's a little crooked. Get this over this way so you can see it a little better. Just tugging, tugging. Now it's probably just a small blue cat, but that is how a flathead will bite. But a lot of the time by now it would have loaded the rod up. I might regret this, but I'm just going to reel up on it. Is it anything? It's a little fish. It's a little fish. I probably just snagged it. If it had that hook in its mouth, then it's probably hurting right now. Yeah, it's a little blue. Just a little blue. Folks, at least we know there's fish here in this spot. Not sure if there's any bigger ones, but there's some active smaller ones. Now, there was a time when I would be ecstatic to catch this fish. And I still appreciate it. But the fact of the matter is that it took my bait. I don't have much left. And, what do you say, fish? Say hi to the people. See, yeah, there he went. He told you hi. Alright. This one's probably scared for its mom. So we'll let that one go. Cut off another chunk of bait for that one. I'll throw that one back out. Day's not exactly young. There we go. We got us another fish. This one feels a little better than the other ones, but we're gonna find out. As long as he stays on there. Way over there. He came off this wood cover over here. Took that rod over like he meant it. I was honestly about to move. Every time I catch a fish, the clock resets. Of course, I make the rules. I don't follow anybody else's rules. Yeah, that one is tangled up. It's another one about the same as what we've been getting. That one's a male that's been spawning. Not a very big one, but He's all tangled up. He's got himself lassoed. And I'll tell you that as soon as I get him in the boat and get him undone and he feels that pressure relieve, he's gonna go nuts. But that's what we got to do. Oh. Yeah, that one's the first male of the day. I think he's been probably sitting on a nest over here in this wood cover, guarding eggs, and that bait probably made him mad. Let's see if I can get him undone. Yep. He left me the bait, but it ain't in very good shape. He's got that hook all the way down in his mouth. All right, now open that out of there. There we go. Told you that's what he'd do. That was not very nice of him. And this fish has the physique of a fish that's going to be big one day. He ain't big right now. Well, he'll be big one day if he calms down and let him survive. He's got a tough jaw. Now, even though that's a smaller fish, you can tell by the size of his head compared to the other ones that is a male. And he's also got this sort of I guess you could call them shoulders. Like he's starting to grow sort of a hump right there in front of his dorsal fin. Now when you catch monster fish, they've got this same kind of shape to them, the same kind of physique. This one's obviously small, but this is the kind of fish that becomes your big 50 to 80 pounders and more. So I'm going to get him back in the water so he can do that. I do believe he's been on the nest. And he's out of here. So I might sit here a few more minutes. I still got bait left. I've had action. Obviously everything's been small, but you never know what's going to happen, folks. So I'll get another chunk of bait and throw it out there. Alright folks, so this bait's been soaking for about an hour and a half now. It's probably all washed out and I really don't feel like throwing the cast net or running the gill net again. I don't think there's a lot of bait fish up here. I do believe that on this river the fish are on the spawn. I think the big fish are doing their thing. We did have a big full moon last night, and there's an old wise tale that says that right after Memorial Day, the first full moon is when the spawn starts to get heavy. Of course, they don't all spawn at the same time, but there's also not a whole lot of bait fish this far upriver. There's a ton of gar. So downriver probably would have been the better choice today. Water might have been a little cooler, but I don't really feel like getting any more bait. And right now, it is like the hottest part of the day. It's hotter than an 85 Buick that's out of coolant with a busted radiator. So I'm going to go ahead and reel these up if another fish doesn't hit them while I'm talking. And I'm going to start heading back to the boat ramp and get home. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, folks.